This is how I got my first client as a freelancer. So my very first client I actually got in 2016 when I freelanced for the first time. I actually failed at this round of freelancing and I ended up going back into full-time work, but it's a cool story. This actually happened when I was in a restaurant. I was with a boyfriend at the time, gone out for dinner, and a woman walked in with a tag hanging out of her shirt, and it was quite a nice restaurant, so I wanted to go and tell her. I was quite underconfident at the time, but I built up the courage to go over to her table, tapped her on the shoulder, and I said, "You've got a tag hanging out of your t-shirt." She was just expressed extreme gratitude straight away. She was really extroverted and could tell she was grateful. I went back to my table and she sent a shot over as a thank you. So I sent one back and there was a bit of banter there. We ended up just hanging out together after the dinner, drinking Baileys, talking about work and that kind of thing. It turned out that she had a small marketing agency and she was looking for someone who, just like me really, I was out of uni, she wanted someone to help with the marketing and support, and she ended up hiring me and becoming my first ever client. At that time I had a job that I hated. It was horrible. I was on really less than minimum wage by the time I had worked all of this silly overtime. So I just quit and took a risk, which I don't necessarily recommend. It was really good for a year. I worked with her for a year. I ended up going back in-house, as I said, back into a full-time agency because I just didn't really know how to network and get more clients. I did agency work for another 2 years and then I quit my job again to travel around the world with my now husband, and that's one of the best things I've ever done. While I was traveling, I started to build up a new portfolio of potential clients, and I did that through Upwork. I put myself on there, I listed my skills, and I just started pitching for jobs. At the time, I really wanted to be a writer. That's what I wanted to do, solely. So I started pitching for writing jobs. I got work with a small copywriting agency, and they would pay me $15 an hour to write content for their clients on various topics. I think I wrote on holistic sleep coaching for a sleep coach for babies. I did accountancy. There was another client who did a lot of cycling blogs, and because I was cycling around the world, I was obviously a very good candidate to apply for that job, so I got that job as well. And yeah, that's how I started, just writing for clients. Now I'm going to make another video about writing, so I think people understand the scale and opportunity of writing in the digital world. So that's going to come up next.